Welcome back to Femgineer's Confident Communicator course introductory video series. I'm Poornima Vijayashanker, the founder of Femgineer. In this video, you're going to meet Yin, who runs the Qian Zheng Memorial Scholarship. In 2016, Yin decided to sponsor 2 students in Beijing to attend our course. As you watch this video, you're going to learn why Yin believes that public speaking is really critical to someone's career and why she decided to sponsor 2 non-native speakers to attend our course. Thanks so much for joining us today, Yin.
Sure, my pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So let's start by asking this question. Why do you think public speaking is even important for your career?
So for myself, I think public speaking is really important because it's unavoidable, both in terms of work and in my personal life. I personally have grown up speaking Chinese and German, and so English was my 3rd language, and I personally had to work really hard to lose my accent, build my vocabulary, and then later on learn how to speak with authority. And by now, I feel quite confident. In fact, I enjoy public speaking. And I've been asked to host conferences and to MC friends' weddings. And it's really rewarding to do a good job entertaining the crowd and communicating effectively, especially if it's a good friend's big day.
Yeah, definitely. So it's obviously helped you in your career. So why did you decide that it was important to sponsor someone else and the 2 students from China that you had sent us?
So let me give you a little bit of a background about the students. So they're part of our scholarship programs. They are all female engineering or STEM majors in undergrad, and they come from very rural areas. They're all daughters of migrant workers and laborers. And so they're first-generation college students, number one. A lot of them, before arriving on their college campuses, have never even touched a computer before. So that gives you an indication of their level of exposure to modern technology. Also, the Chinese educational system is not very good about teaching public speaking skills, so doing presentations is not very emphasized. And so that's one aspect we recognized was really lacking in their general skills that they would need later on as scholars, as teachers, as engineers working for companies. A lot of them have this lifelong dream of studying abroad and working for a multinational. And even if they go on to the academic track, they'll have to speak at international conferences or collaborate with folks whose native tongue, or at least the lingua franca, will be English.
So what were these students like before they took the course?
So these were already 2 of our top students in the program, and all of them had some experience already attending larger conferences, and they were also quite involved in our community. Also, their fluency level in English was intermediate to advanced, so I knew that they would be able to keep up and also would really appreciate the opportunity. They're quite diligent, and so they wanted to take their English to the next level. Both of them had already graduated from the undergrad program just that year. And they, however, suffer from the handicap of being female and Asian. So they already look younger than they really are. And they also had gone through the Chinese educational system. So they needed more practice to really learn how to speak with authority. And so when they first entered the program, I think they were very eager, but knew that they had some shortcomings they needed to hopefully remedy with taking this course.
So why did you decide to send them to Femgineer's Confident Communicator course?
Yeah, so one thing was, of course, that the theme of it was exactly what I was looking for. And then secondly, they were both located in China, and so it needed to be online. And one thing that I was not aware prior, but in hindsight found to be very valuable, is that the format in which you teach, number one, you have the live aspect, right, which is important for them to learn. And then you also record all the sessions, which was very, very useful to them. In fact, in the beginning, both of them had messaged me and said, oh, it's really challenging to keep up in class. We are having kind of a hard time understanding. But then in maybe week 3 or 4, they both again messaged me independently and said, "Oh, but I'm doing much better keeping up in class. After every session, I go back and rewatch the video 2 or 3 times, and now I'm having a much better time being able to also participate actively." And so I saw this transformation. And I think the format of having a live session with a larger group and then also having an individual session was really valuable.
Nice. And so can you dive in a little bit deeper into how these women did transform during the course, and how did you see them change?
Yeah. So in the end, I actually had them both do their final presentation in one of our scholarship video chats in front of all of the other scholars and mentors. And those just both did a really good job. I think in addition to slowing down the pace and speaking much more clearly, they also felt much more comfortable in front of the camera or in front of the crowd. And both of them had to, I actually asked them to write me a pretty extensive review of how their experience was, because I needed to hear that from them in order to decide whether or not to continue sponsoring folks in the future. And I think the conclusion was pretty clear. Both of them agreed that number 1 is really valuable for them. Number 2 is that they would definitely recommend future scholars to also receive the opportunity to participate in the course. And then they also gave me specific anecdotes from what they exactly learned in the class. And for instance, I still very distinctly remember one of them mentioned the pencil exercise as part of the accent reduction module. And she said, yes, I found it to be such a simple but ingenious way to help with my enunciation. And I've done it so many times and it's really helped me with my script. And so I saw the end result and I saw the difference and just the confidence boost, right? And so I think the title of the course is in fact very descriptive of what you can expect as the end result.
Awesome. So will you be sending more scholars our way this year?
Yes, definitely. We've already decided that. We've already set aside budget. And then I've also made recommendations to some friends and colleagues outside of the scholarship program that I run.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
So last question, for those who are in the audience and may still be on the fence, why would you recommend that they decide to attend FemGenieur's Confident Communicator course?
I think the results speak for themselves, and just look at the testimonials. And I, as someone who hasn't gone through the course but seen how it has transformed the folks I have sponsored, I can definitely say is worth the money and it's worth the time. And I personally believe in having a structured education instead of trying to learn it on your own. You really need to have someone be there and help you constructively critique and help you take your communication skills to the next level. And also having other people around you in the same boat definitely helps make you feel that you're not alone. And you also learn from other people's mistakes.
That's it for this video. If you're a prospective student or a non-native speaker and are thinking about our course, hopefully you've got a chance to see how it will truly transform your communication skills and your presentation skills. Ciao for now.